Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm Congressman Adriano Espaillat. I represent New York's 13th district, right?
Yes.
Now that's an iconic district because it has Harlem, right?
Yeah.
It has El Barrio, which is East Harlem. Some of you may have seen the play In the Heights. And Hamilton, it has Washington Heights.
Yeah.
And it has the Northwest Bronx, a working class New York neighborhood. It's a great district. And it has a direct connection to Allentown. People live here. They lived in New York City before. They still have families back there. They come back and forth. It's a 2-hour drive. This is a great district. They're represented by a good friend, Susan Weil. And so we're here because we need to make sure we win Pennsylvania. And when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. And we got to fight this year. You know, and the VP says it well. You know, we're taking on a bully. And she says it better than anybody else. If you got something to say it to my face. Right? So we're here to fight to make sure that people in Pennsylvania understand that this is not just a regular election. And I know you hear that all the time. But this is really not a regular election. And Project 2025 is dastardly. It's one that's proposing, imagine this. People from all over the world understand and know that the great equalizer in the United States is its public education system. That it doesn't matter where you come from, what language you speak, who you pray to, whether you're middle class or you're working class. That's a great equalizer. People want to come here because they know that's a great system. And Project 2025 wants to dismantle that. Healthcare, a human right. Everyone should have access to healthcare. And our vice president worked hard with the Biden administration to make sure that if you're diabetic,
That's right.
it's capped at $35 a month. You no longer have to ration the dosage of insulin. You no longer have to decide between paying your rent or buying food or getting that medication. Now it's accessible as it should be to everybody. And we're doing more. We've included 10 other prescription drugs, and we're going to continue to do more. And the Affordable Care Act must be preserved. It must not be gutted as they propose in Project 25, because when we fight. And finally, this election is not just about us dudes. This election is about my mother.
Yes. Yeah.
This election is about my daughter, Natalia. This election is about my 9-month-old granddaughter.
Yes.
And their ability, your ability, women, to make your own decisions for your own body, because when we fight, we win. And so this is an election that is not just like any other election. And I know you see it all the time, every 4 years, that, this is the most important election in many, many decades. No, this one truly is. Not just for our country, but for the world. The world is watching. The whole world is watching that what happens in this election. The markets will be shaken with what happens in this election. I hear people saying that they may want to leave the United States to go to Europe or somewhere else if that happens. And so we must be steadfast. We must be resolved. We must not be afraid. Let's take that spirit that I know Pennsylvania has and let's move forward, because when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I give you none other than the first gentleman, Doug Emhoff.
Careers for fighting for us, Kamala Harris for the people. She has spent her entire career for us, working on our safety, working on our health, and working on our economic opportunity. And you've gotten to meet Tim Waltz. He was a school teacher. He was a military veteran. He was a football defensive coordinator, a coach. He was a member of Congress, probably served together, so you probably know him better than I do. And he's been a great governor. So I actually met him the first time when I was traveling the country as second gentleman, talking about small business. And this is one of the great successes of the Biden-Harris administration, building and supporting our small business, including access to capital. And this, of course, is one of the hallmarks of the Harris-Walz plan to continue to build out our economy, this opportunity economy for everyone. Kamala Harris gets that, Tim Walz gets it. And then I didn't meet him again until we jumped up on that stage, Philadelphia, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then we immediately bonded. His family, our family, because the values are the same. The work ethic is the same. This knowing that we are in this position right now where we must win this election. And that's why you've seen him and his family out there hustling. We're out here hustling, and we're going to not stop, just like you're not going to stop for the next, hold on, they usually write this on my card. I think it's how many days, 60? 59 days, so right. So another fun Tim Walz story, well, there's two.